What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are back with another update on the Grandpa truck. Today we're going to be talking about the suspension. If you watched the debut video on this truck, you saw that this truck had a little bit of a hodgepodge lift kit on it. It had what I believe, as far as I can tell, was a 4-inch Skyjacker leaf spring setup in the front and just the sway bar drops and nothing else. So as you can imagine, the steering didn't really work very well. The shocks weren't long enough. The rear end was way lower than the front. It needed some help. So in this video, I'm going to run through everything I did in this truck, including the complete 4-inch Skyjacker lift, the wheel and tire setup you see behind me, and everything you need to make that happen. Let's dive into this. All right, we are here. I snuck the truck onto the lift at the work. Got Wyatt here helping me. We're going to be putting on the rest of this 4-inch Skyjacker lift on this truck. It's got just the front leaf springs, a couple other odds and ends. We're going to do in the pitman arm drag link, everything else to make this proper. So yeah, let's dive in, get this kit installed. Shout out to Brandon and Wyatt. For the price of pizza, I basically got some assistance on throwing the lift on this truck. Now, since the previous owner had already done the front springs and already done the sway bar drops, there's only 2 pieces missing out of the front of the truck, and that is the drop pitman arm and the longer drag link. Those 2 are key, and that's actually why this truck had such bad bump steer and why I wasn't able to turn full lock, full left and full lock, full right. Just because once you have that taller lift on the truck with the weird drag length that these trucks have, you're just not able to fully turn. So getting that on is going to actually let me have, and has let me have, proper steering out of this truck. It really transformed how this truck drives, and I'm actually able to have a straight wheel now, finally, while driving down the road. At the rear of the truck, I opted for the full replacement leaf springs from Skyjacker. The reason I did this is they're going to offer a much softer ride. I'm obviously not towing with this truck a ton because I have my 3rd gen 23 Super Duty, etc., that actually tow a lot better than this one. So the goal here was just the softest ride. Now, these do actually use a block as well, just because this is such a short leaf span leaf pack. So, you know, obviously you can get much better ride out of these doing like the Archive Garage kit where you get relocated hangers and longer span springs, but I want to see how I could do with this truck. This is a pretty budget friendly kit. I just want to see how it would ride and handle with that. So we got those leaf springs on. Unfortunately, they do have vulcanized bushings in them that are for the 150 trucks. So you actually have to press those out and put in new poly bushings. So the good news there is that the poly bushings articulate better and ride better. The bad news is the extra steps of having to press those out that we weren't quite anticipating. So that was a little bit of a bummer and slowed the project down, but still managed to get it done with the help of Wyatt and Brandon. Once we wrestled those into place, the next step was to put these small blocks underneath. Again, this is just to get that little bit of extra height to match the front and have some rake without going with a really overly arched leaf spring pack on the truck. I'm not a huge fan of blocks, but in this case, it's actually probably a good solution with such a short span leaf spring pack. Now, the final thing I did before putting on the shocks and steering stabilizers, and something I've been wanting to do since I got this truck, was actually just paint the whole frame, undercarriage, suspension, everything else under the truck, because it was looking pretty crusty. I've used a bunch of different products in the past, but for this one, I ended up using a Seymour product. It's their Seymour like industrial grade flat black paint. They also make like a satin and a gloss, but I felt like flat would probably look the most proper underneath this truck. A bunch of people on Instagram asked if I, did a frame off or anything crazy on this truck. Basically, in terms of prep work, what I did was lift the truck up, do some major pressure washing under the truck, scuffed up any of the spots that had some major flaking rust or anything like that. But from there, basically what I did was just paint it. I didn't take the frame off. I want this truck to be a driver. I wasn't going to send the frame out for powder coat or anything like that. It's not a show truck. What I wanted to do was just protect the undercarriage on the truck, make it look nice, and kind of just clean up everything under the truck. So I'm really happy with this. I didn't do a ton of filming on this because it's just really hard to film this process, but while it was on the lift before the shocks went in, seemed like a really good opportunity to paint everything under this truck and make it look a lot nicer. And hopefully this should be a nice step in protecting the truck. Final piece of the puzzle was the shocks. Skyjacker actually offers some basic shocks for these, as well as their like slightly nicer shock line. I wasn't a huge fan of either of those, so I actually opted for Fox 2.0s. I was able to compare the collapsed and extended lengths of the Skyjacker kit, basically match those to the closest match that Fox offers for the 2.0s. I'll put those part numbers down below in the description so you guys have them, but these don't quite exactly bolt onto the 1st gen trucks because the eyelet in the shock is too small. So what I did to solve that was actually just press out the crush sleeve and then drilled out the bushings in the shock. It's a little backwards, I understand, but for this truck, it'll get the job done. It allows me to put those Fox 2.0s on the truck and have them fit on the larger diameter stud on these trucks.
Now I gotta say the bushings not fitting on the studs was a bit of a surprise. They actually fit on the upper rear shock bolts on the frame side, but the lower rears and then the front ones were all too big. I'm gonna see if I can find a more permanent solution with a larger bushing and a proper sized crush sleeve. But for now, this will get it done, get me down the road. I'm obviously not reusing these bushings anyway, so it made sense to just drill them out and get the shocks in the truck. Now, the final piece of the puzzle is actually the part I was most excited about. When I bought this truck, it had what I think are American Racing, like revolver style wheels. They were looked to be about 17 by 8.5, zero offset with a set of 35-inch, really worn out Toyo AT tires. I just didn't think it had the right look. Like, I get what the guy was going for. It was supposed to be kind of like that classic look, but to me, these first gens just look right on the factory style wheels, but you can't run tires that big on stock wheels. There's an old forum trick for these trucks where you actually run the Ford Accuride Steely wheels. They're just a touch wider. Now, I'm gonna put the part number down in the description as well as on the video so that you guys have the exact part number of these wheels. But what that lets you do is mount a bigger tire and still accept the trim rings, like the beauty rings and the dog dish caps. So it's a kind of a cool little secret spec on these. It also requires a new lug nut. Again, I'm gonna put that part number in the description as well so you guys have that. But what I opted for on this truck was a set of 315 75/16 Nitto trail grapplers. These are, to me, like the perfect tire for this truck. They have that kind of like vintage look. They look super aggressive. It just gives it that cool, like old school farm truck look. And then with those, I did the Ford Accuride Steely wheels. I powder coated those black. And then I was able to track down an original set of beauty rings and dog dish caps. And if you have a first gen, you know how hard those are to find in good shape. They don't make those anymore. They're very hard to track down. But thank you to Roberts at First Gen Industries, I was able to track a set of those down. For the beauty rings, I ended up painting those with a Plastidip Hyper Dip. If you guys are familiar with this, it's a peelable paint coating. I did this because I didn't want to modify those vintage trim rings. You can't get them anymore. I didn't want to paint them any other way, so this is fully removable. But that gives them a much bigger tire look, kind of hides how big the wheel is. And then I went with the standard polished dog dish caps. To me, this is just the look on a first gen truck. Like, I feel like it makes them look meaty, aggressive, but still vintage and very classic. I don't know if I will ever change the wheel tire setup on this truck because I just love how it looks. I'm really thrilled in how this truck is turning out. It's taken me a long time, but with the redone interior, redone suspension, redone steering, and now the wheels and tires, it has exactly the look I was going for, where everything underneath the truck is all redone and the outside still has that worn patina finish on the paint. I'm just gonna enjoy this truck how it is. I'm really, really happy with it. I am considering a crossover steering setup, so we'll maybe get into some of that in the videos, probably some more power adding stuff, but for now, I'm super happy with how this truck turned out. Thank you guys for following along with the Grandpa truck build. This thing is not done yet, and I would love your guys' input. If there's anything you want to see on this truck, anything you want to know about, let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.